My name is Sarah Fennell Buchanan. I'm the founder of Restore Humanity.
And I'm Boo Buchanan, the program director of Restore Humanity.
We're really excited you guys are here tonight. We, of course, wish we could all be together. And while we're getting to a light at the end of the tunnel place with the pandemic, we weren't quite ready to all be smashed in together at a place. So we appreciate you being with us tonight. We appreciate you getting Bordinos and the wonderful wine. We hope you're enjoying your Bordinos at home for those of you that got it. We have someone to introduce to everyone.
This is Malcolm Joseph Buchanan. He's the newest member of the Restore Humanity family.
Look, buddy.
And if you think he's cute, I encourage you to make a comment saying so. And
Yeah, no, of course. We want you to comment tonight. Tell us how you're doing. Tell us that you're here. Just interact with us, because then it's more like we're all here together. So we have a great show for you tonight. We have some wonderful things to share. But first, we have to give a shout out to our sponsors, Bordinos and Natural State Distributing. Bordinos has stuck with us through the toughest times and continues to support us, and they're absolutely incredible. And so we have this wonderful video from the Bordinos team, and they'll tell you a little bit about the food and wine pairings tonight, and then we'll get started. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Molly Allison, co-owner of Bordinos Restaurant and Wine Bar in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We are proud to be a continuing sponsor of Restore Humanity. Your support of Bordinos allows us to continue to partner with this incredible organization, and for that, we thank you. Bordinos invites you to join us for dinner, either by dining in or grabbing carryout. We recently launched our new spring menu, and we're so excited to share with you the creative options that our team has thrown together while still sticking to some of the classic dishes you know and love as well. We're also planning on bringing back brunch very soon, so stay tuned for that. We at Bordinos are proud to be part of such an incredible fundraiser, and we encourage you to contribute this evening. We hope that you enjoy your meal. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Bailey Flowerday, and I'm the beverage director here at Bordinos. I'm really excited to be presenting the wine and food that you have in front of you tonight, so let's dive on in. The first wine that we have for you this evening is the 2019 Corte Gardoni Griotto. This is produced in Veneto, Italy by Gianni Piccoli, where he makes wine with his 3 sons. They use natural farming and low yields that produce highly aromatic and really exciting wines. It's a blend of different Italian grapes. We have Garganega, Trebbiano, Trebbianello, Cortese, Manzanone Bianco, and it's aged in stainless steel. You'll find some notes of pear, green apple, lots of orchard fruit, citrus. It's a pure and refreshing wine that acts as a great aperitif. It's got a dry minerality that's balanced by a honey sweetness on the finish. The second wine that we have for you this evening is a 2017 Pinot Noir from Bruno Collin. This comes to you from the Côte de Beaune region in Bourgogne in Burgundy, France, the birthplace of Pinot Noir. Give it about 3 minutes to open up, and it'll develop some cinnamon notes, lots of plum, earth, graphite. I get a lot of breakfast scones that has just a baked fruit jelly aspect to it, which make it a great pairing for our dishes for you tonight. Both of these wines are old world style, so they're relatively low in ABV, both coming in at 12.5%. This makes them great to enjoy and sip slow throughout your entire meal. We're gonna be starting out this evening with our first course of a charcuterie and cheese board. It's gonna feature some dried chorizo, prosciutto, Humboldt Fog, which is a goat cheese, Barely Buzzed cheddar, which will feature some espresso and lavender in the cheese, our house-made pimento cheese, a jalapeno jam, some pickled shallots, stone ground mustard, and grapes. My favorite part about the charcuterie and cheese board is to take the chorizo and the Barely Buzzed cheddar and the jalapeno jam, and that all together just creates a really interesting, exciting mix of flavors. Both of the wines that we have for you tonight work really well as pairings for the charcuterie and cheese board and kind of work with the different elements that we have for you here tonight. The Pinot Noir is a great pairing for the Humboldt Fog goat cheese because the slight acidic nature helps to really cut through that creaminess and that fat of the goat cheese, and the earthiness complements that little ash line that you're actually going to see in the rind of the goat cheese itself. I also really like to pair it with the Barely Buzzed cheddar because the different notes and the depth of this wine really complement the espresso and lavender notes that are present in the cheese itself. The Griotto is going to go really well with the cured meats that we have for you on the charcuterie and cheese board tonight. It has a little bit of citrus that's gonna help cut through that fattiness, but the slight sweet nature is gonna really help balance out the saltiness of cured beets. The second course that we have for you this evening is gonna be a braised beef short rib. That's gonna come with a basil pesto mash, some spring root veggies, a black garlic demi-glaze, and some fresh herbs atop. I like to pair this with the Bruno Collin Pinot Noir. Those earth elements of the Pinot Noir that I already mentioned are going to feed really well into the herbaceousness of this dish and really well with the umami savory flavor of the black garlic demi-glaze. Our final course for you this evening is going to be a raspberry swirled cheesecake. It's going to be served with some fresh fruit and a raspberry coulis. Honestly, I think both of these wines go very interestingly with this dish. You'll find the white wine, again, will have that acidity to cut through the creaminess of the cheesecake, but it'll have that honey sweet finish so that it doesn't overwhelm the dessert itself. But I particularly really like the Pinot Noir with this. The fruity flavors that kind of get washed out by more savory dishes really get a time to shine with the raspberry coulis on this dish. We would like to extend a special thank you to Kim Crawford and her wonderful team at Natural State Distributing for providing these wines for us to enjoy with our dinner tonight. We would like to thank you as well for joining us in this virtual benefit dinner to restore humanity from all of us here at Bordino's Restaurant and Wine Bar.
Bordino's is so awesome.
Yes, it
And
is.
I have to second what Bailey said. Kim Crawford is amazing. If you have been to our events and drank wine, that you've drank wine that she's given. So she's been so generous. She's wonderful. We really appreciate it, Kim. Thank you so much. So we have a great show for you tonight. Last year we focused on our 10-year anniversary for our JCO Children's Home. So we were talking about the last 10 years. And tonight we're going to be talking about the future, like the next 10 years. So for those of you that don't know, our JCO Children's Home is a home to 19 children right now in Kenya. And we provide everything for them. It is definitely their home. We provide education, healthcare, love, support, every single thing they need. And just to give you a quick update on them, everybody's doing great. Last year, we let you know that during COVID, the schools and everything were kind of closed down in Kenya, but they're now back open in January. The kids went back to school. They're very excited. There is a surge in COVID cases right now in Kenya, but from what I understand, it's mostly Nairobi, the capital, and the counties around there. And it's pretty far from where our kids are, so I'm hoping that surge kind of dies down quickly for everybody in Kenya and our kids, for sure.
All of our efforts in Kenya aim to improve the lives of the people in the village of Serembe. And for over a decade now, we've done that in a diversity of ways. We've built classrooms for the local primary school. We've constructed girls' dormitories at the local high school. We provided thousands of girls and young women with multiple years worth of maxi pads. We provided scholarships to hundreds of kids to keep them from having to drop out of high school due to a lack of school fees. And of course, the maternity ward, where I have it on good authority as of today that there have been more than 1,400 babies born.
Awesome.
So Restore Humanity has been very busy in the community of Serembe. However, our number one priority and our main focus remains the JCO Children's Home. And I'm forgetting what I was supposed to say. Oh, right. It says, so you all have been listening to Sarah. You've listened to Sarah and I talk about the JCO Children's Home for years now. So we thought it might be more impactful tonight to hear it from someone else. And it just so happens that we have three gentlemen who, in some real sense, understand it better than we do. And so in our next video, the first speaker you're going to hear is Moses Agare, as our first Restore Humanity scholar. And he'll be followed by our second Restore Humanity scholar, Jareem Mola, who was one of the first 10 kids to move into the JCO Children's Home back when we first opened it in 2010. And the third Restore Humanity scholar is a guy in a fancy suit with a nice haircut. And his name is Juma Agongo. And he is presently completing his first semester at the University of Arkansas. And I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
JCO is very important. It's one of the most organizations that I'll consider essential in my community. You can see my brother Juma Frederick Ogongo. You can see my brother Jeremy Gilbert Moller, whom without Restore Humanity, they couldn't be something today in the society.
My experience with JCO is one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, because the staff there are so amazing. There are people who are friendly, people just from the locale, people who speak the same language as me, and so dealing with them was very easy. It never took me a lot of time to bond with them because we have same cultural values, same language, and the culture that JCO inculcated in us as children enabled me to scale higher in my social life and in my academics. JCO helps contribute much to the community around Surembe, because so many people either benefit from the organization either directly or indirectly. And so that impact is going to be immense for a period in the next 5 or 10 years, because a number of people are graduating either as from high school with the JCO or as Restore Humanity scholars, who will in turn pay back to their community in a number of ways.
My experience while at JCO, it was, and I think this would be confirmed by any other kid at JCO, it's pretty interesting. Like where you come from, where you don't have that much or pretty much nothing, then you have where you have like clothes, food, water, all this stuff provided to you with only one mission: you should study to achieve your dream. And I think that's, if anybody, a child, is gonna ask for anything, that's something that is more than asked. Like, that's a lot. And so it was like a life changer for me. Yeah. If I was to speak about my experience like at JCO, I have so much good to say, and it's going to be something that for many people who are like fortunate, it's normal. But for us who like, if you didn't have and you get to have that such a life, it's really amazing. And it's kind of like, it makes you even dream bigger, and like you realize everything you've dreamt for can be possible, so long as this thing keeps on happening to you and other kids, and also seeing not only you are getting help, other people are also getting help. And I think that's like amazing to see, like y'all are lifted up, you know.
So JCO ensure that the children that are living there are provided with good food, because most children who stay there, you find that in one way or another, maybe perhaps the homes from where they came from, maybe they never had places to sleep on, they never had beds or blankets, they never had three meals a day. And so having these underprivileged children accessing education or having good food, being sure of what they are going to eat next, I can say is a big privilege that JCO offers its children.
Yeah, these kids, whenever they are at home, they're like a family to one another. Whenever they're there, they play with toys, they share them. Whenever there's food, they share food. Whenever there's clothing or somebody's sick, they take care of each other. At school, they also take care of each other. Another kid cannot fight another kid. They'll be like gather together as a family, taking care of one another and being there to inspire one another. If I didn't meet Sarah Fennell, without that, I couldn't have been where I am today. That's what I'm saying. Restore Humanity has helped all these kids, and it's continuing to change their lives. Most of these kids, they come from very, very poor backgrounds, whereby some of them have given up in life, given up in education. But when Restore Humanity stepped up in their lives, it gives them an opportunity to show and prove that for sure they can do it good. They can do good in life.
Mother, in her philosophical words, she used to say, if if you don't do it, you can't pass. If you do it, you can't fail. And that simple statement kept me going. And so I looked up to Mother as a role model, as a mentor, somebody who has been able to influence so many lives of the youth, women, children, men, in a positive way. And so her being at the helm of JCEO and being part of the Restore Humanity is a great asset to the institution. I think the kids enjoy more when Sarah is around because Sarah likes playing with the kids, and that's something that it's not a trait you find in so many people. Like you find maybe somebody to the level of a CEO playing with children. It's phenomenal. It's amazing, and so it makes the kids bond very closely and open up in any problem they have. And I think whenever Sarah is around, children want to stay around her because of a motherly personality, because of her values and virtues, and trying to bring the best out of every person. Well, JCO has amazing staff comprising of people who are so understanding, people who are so friendly, people who are have got a sense of parenting. There are people, when you approach them with a problem, they'll listen to you. And to talk about Mother specifically, Mother has an open door policy. Anytime you have a problem as a child, you can walk into her house, be it very early in the morning or late in the night. She'll listen to you and try to sort out the problem you have. So JCO has a rich, as a staff, rich and different people with different personalities, which build in, which try to support immensely the life of a child. JCO provided surety to us that we are going to get food, we are going to get a place to sleep on, our school fees going to be paid for, people who are sick and need to go to hospital, the children, the medical bills are paid for by the JCO. And so it's been a home away from home.
Not having to worry about all these meals and what you're gonna wear and if you're gonna have enough for next day, also kind of participated to motivated us to like study hard, and me getting the opportunity to be in this to be part of the children's home. I realized that I really need to like show something. I really need to like be good, because it's not everyday opportunity that just comes and knocks. So that's kind of like was the main thing. It kind of hurt me like sometimes because I see like other people who are really, really good or better, like extremely greater than I am, and also like have so much less than our head. When I see them struggling in everyday life, it's kind of like I'm really grateful, and I want to make like every the opportunity I get count. So those are things that really pushes me to like, those are things that push me to like do really great.
How amazing are those boys? I've known all three of them for over a decade now, and they're just incredible young men. I'm very, very proud. I want to make one point that Jareem actually makes very, very well. So he was talking about Made in our staff in Kenya. So Made is Mrs. Opat. You guys have heard me talk about her before. She is the co-founder of the JCO Children's Home. She's my Kenyan partner. Her and the Kenyan staff do all the work, right? They take care of the kids every day.
Day after day.
Day after day.
Week after week.
Right? All the problems, all the wins, everything that they need, they're there for them. And none of this happens without them. And so Boo and I get to go and be like the fun aunt and uncle that bring toys, but they're the people that do all the work. And I want to give a little shout out to people who are on here. Actually, Miss Opat's daughter, Linda Opat, is on here. Hello, Linda. I'm so glad you're here. Lindley's on here. Hello, Philip Verdon. I'm so glad you're here. Patty Williams.
Britton Thomas,
Yes.
appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much. Keep commenting. We've got some great videos for you, but
When our kids graduate from high school, they leave the JCO to begin their lives as adults. But we don't just wish them good luck. Some form of post-secondary education or job training will be made available to each and every one of them through our Restore Humanity Scholars Program. The purpose of this program is to put each one of our kiddos in whatever situation is most conducive to their future success. And that's going to mean different things for different kids. For the majority of our kids, they will likely attend something like a trade school or a community college where they can acquire a marketable skill. But for some kids who have the academic aptitude and interest, we will send them to a four-year university within Kenya. But in very, very special cases, we will bring some Restore Humanity scholars here to the United States to pursue a bachelor's degree at the University of Arkansas.
and we just happen to have a very, very special case. Pamela is a young woman who has lived with us for the last 10 years in the children's home, and we are really hoping to bring her as a Restore Humanity scholar sometime later this year. So here's a wonderful video about Pamela. Pamela and her brother Sammy were two of the first 10 kids that moved into the JCO Children's Home in 2010. Pamela at the time was in 3rd grade. She was shy, she was reserved. I mean, she's kind, but she kind of kept to herself. We quickly realized that she was an exceptional child. She had transferred to the Serembe Primary School from the primary school she had been at before, and she almost instantly went to the top of the class. And she was the top of her class all the way through primary school, through 8th grade, and then in high school she did really well as well. So she's really good at school, but she also really loves school. So Pamela is beautiful, kind, very smart, very driven. She's just an incredible young woman. So at our JCO Children's Home, we have weekly staff meetings. And whenever I'm there, I of course attend them. And I get kind of updates from everybody. I get some good stories, but the staff also wants to tell me when the children have misbehaved. And we've got 19, 20 kids, like someone's always misbehaving, right? But Pamela, she lived with us for 10 years, and the only negative things I heard about her were that she was overprotective of her brother Sammy, and she thought she was special, or she was too confident. And to both of those, I had to smile. I mean, I had to talk to him and be like, yes, yes. But I just thought, for a young girl, and she had been through so many different challenges, for her to just sustain this, that she's special and she's awesome, and she just kind of had that naturally in her, I thought it was incredible. And she's carried that. She holds herself to a really high standard. She studies all the time. She's really good to the other kids. She's a natural leader. She's been defying expectations of everyone kind of her whole life, and we know she will continue to do that. As far as Pamela being an RH scholar, it's something that I've been talking to the kids about for a long time. Since Moses, our first RH scholar, came, everyone kind of started wondering, would I be able to do this? Would I be able to do this? And, I would kind of just casually talk to people about it, but Pamela I would pull aside since she was young, and I would just say, girl, if you stay focused, we've got to be able to do this, because she's just, her character for one, who she is, but also her ability in school, she's just like the perfect candidate for it. And she's continued to behave and do well in school and do all the things she was supposed to do. So she's been working for this for a really long time. So Pamela graduated secondary school in 2019, December of 2019. And the plan was for her to be here last year, come in the summer of 2020. But as we all know, COVID changed everything here and there. And so she's just been waiting patiently and hoping that this would happen. And I do know that COVID changes a lot of things, but I really hope that this doesn't mess up her opportunity, because she really deserves it. She's been working really, really hard for it. And we have raised some money to get her here, but we need to raise some more to really make sure we have enough to take care of her once she's here. But the goal is to have her here this August to start school. So we've got a couple months, be raising money and start preparing, and we really hope we'll be able to do that, because she is a phenomenal young woman. And I can't wait for her to be here, because just for her to be able to step into her new future. She wants to study business, and of course the Walton College is an incredible school, and I think she will just thrive and be such an addition to our RH family here and get to meet everybody. But I think for her future individually and for what she'll do for the community is going to be incredible.
Well, I knew Pamela when she was in grade 2. Yes, that was in 2010. And as a child, she was, let me say, a child who had the vigor, the demeanor, or the audacity to be able to confront the problems that she faces. She lost her parents when she was a very little kid. And so it was very unusual to have such a child being focused and having to know what she wants to be in the next, in her life when she grows up.
Pamela is one of the Restominated kids, just like me. They were like among the few kids who were there first, and I joined Restomin in 2012. I think like 2 years after I met Pamela. I would say that her character is more rare. I would say like she's quite calm, to say like the more obvious thing. She's calm, and when you look into her, like how she does really like in school, or how she handles her work, she's more organized, and she I would say she's inspirational to most other kids who are pretty much every other kid is looking up to her, like the younger ones. She thinks fast before she acts, and so that has made her like not be in like a lot of trouble like pretty much most kids would do. So she's on top of her activities, and just knowing that she plans a lot and she really is dedicated. She has a lot less distractions when it comes to like how she interact with people and stuff, and I think she's going to survive here and adapt really quick because this is what she wants.
I've known Pamela since she came to JCU, and she's one thing, she's very respectful, very calm lady, and very hardworking. And I'm sure when she comes here, she will show that she's capable of achieving or making good use of the opportunity she has. In her class, she was one of the best. So with her getting this opportunity, I'm so happy for her for that. And I'm sure she will accomplish great things. And also to make it more exciting, she's the first lady for a Restore Humanity Scholar. So that excites me very much. And I'm sure she will do great.
Pamela being the next Restore Humanity Scholar. How amazing will this be? In my view, I think it will be one of the best decisions that Restore Humanity will be getting involved in. Like when I talk to her, when I sit with her, she's this person who she's always having the urge to give back, the urge to paying back the kindness, the support, the generosity that she's been able to get from Restore Humanity over the years. And so she believes if she can be in a position to get good quality education, to get a good job with the company she admires to work in, and she'll be in a position to acquire wealth that will be able to change her life, the life of her family, and to be a benefactor of Restore Humanity. So Pamela is a very, 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 very bright student. And I think saying bright is an understatement. She's a gifted person. She's multi-talented. She's a person who is able to perform very well when given the kind of support that she needs. She's a person who is able to transform the resources around her to bring the best out of her. I have no doubt that she is going to do marvelously well at the University of Arkansas if she gets the privilege to become the next Restore Humanity Scholar.
I've been traveling to Kenya back and forth for about 14 years, and to the same village of Serembe, and I've noticed quite a bit of changes in the area of gender equality. Of course, gender equality is something that's really important to me as a woman here and all over the world, but there's been some really big changes. So for example, when I was first there was like a handful of girls that got to go to high school. Maybe when I spoke to the girls in 2012 at the high school, I think there was maybe 40 girls. Most of them wouldn't end up graduating high school. But over the years, the secondary school has been growing a lot, and the new principal actually made it a priority to start making girls and boys equal. And the country as a whole, as Kenya, has been like pushing forward girls' education and making that equal. So it's really exciting. But even though we've come this far, there's still a lot further to go. And it's hard to overstate what it would mean to girls in Serimbe for Pamela to be able to come here and go to school. So we've had our boys RH scholars, and that's just been a function of people, reaching the age to come. And of course, when I'm there, I'm always telling the girls, you're just the same, you're just as good as boys and all this stuff. But having a girl come and seeing one of their own Pamela come and represent this, it's just going to inspire them in ways that nothing else has. They're inspired by the boys, but Pamela just coming and getting the opportunity. I mean, for kids at the JCO Children's Home, for other girls in Serimbe, I just really can't overstate what a big deal that is. So of course it would be a big deal for Pamela individually, but for girls in general, just for her to be able to come and succeed and go back and be a leader in her community, that'd be pretty incredible. So yes, Pamela is amazing. And if you guys would like to help us bring Pamela here, please donate tonight. This is a fundraiser. Some of you got pledge cards in the mail. That's a great way to donate. There's also this wonderful restorehumanity.org/donate. Great donate link. We really need your help. It is a fundraiser, so please help us out.
As new parents, Sarah and I are just trying to figure it out. And Malcolm's our first child, so we don't know much, but we do know this. Children tend to follow your example more than your advice. And so it has always been our hope that through the process of helping our kiddos in Kenya, that they would come to see our action and our behavior as a model for their own. That after being helped by us, they would in turn help others. And so I think, as you'll see in our final video tonight, the desire to pay it forward had by our first 3 Restore Humanity scholars is pretty compelling and pretty exciting to us.
Yeah. And when we think about our future, we want our kids involved, right? Like, who better to tell us how to make our programs better than kids that have been through them, right? They know more about their community than we do, right? They know more about what people need there more than we ever will. They have a unique perspective and insight, and they can contribute in ways that no one else can. And so, if you want to see what the future of Restore Humanity looks like, here it is.
Well, so like any other person, I must say I have ambitions in future. I have this quest for finance. I like finance a lot. And so finance as a cause and finance as a sector helps me, it marries up with my ambitions in future. I'm interested in multiplying a dollar that I have at hand to having $10 to be able to support so many people. Sometimes I feel obsessed with finance. I just love it more. And so I'm looking up to working for a Fortune 500 company to be able to get the kind of resources that will help me drive my ambition, that will help me generate wealth. I'm looking up to myself in 10 years, being an entrepreneur, being the kind of person who is able to create investment, to pay school fees for young children who want to go to school and cannot afford it, to pay medical bills for children who need it the most, to be able to create employment opportunities for young people, people who are talented and do not have resources, people who have gone to college, people who have gone to university, but do not have jobs and are willing to work. So I'm looking up to a time when the output of so many people around me in my community will be helping transform every single life in the society.
I'm not sure where I'll be in 10 years, but so far I think I'll be a professional engineer. I'll still be building my career. I decided to choose highway engineering because we are poor roads back at home. And one of the ways I can help develop these roads is to gain my valuable experience in the US and work for experienced companies, get that experience, and maybe use it to identify certain parts at home whereby we can build this. Once all the road, some of the roads in our community are paved, it will probably attract business people from outside the community, from different cities, and maybe come establish their business centers within the community, and this will boost the economy of Sirembe or our Sia County. And we have certain days of the week where there is market days, maybe like 10 miles away. And some people use bicycles, some people walk, and the roads are not good when it rains. It's very muddy and you get stuck in the mud. So when we have accessibility to good roads, they'll be able to transport the agricultural produce to the market, and they'll be able to make they will be able to generate good finance from that. Or maybe if they have animals they want to go sell, they have anything. And also this also will help with maybe starting the process of maybe having running water.
I started doing programming before I went to school for it. I was doing it for fun, and I would try like maybe develop some apps. So I just figured that doing computer science and learning how to program like as a job, it would be like a step ahead for me to reach what I want to do, which is business and be part of this world where things are automated. So apart from being part of like the trending technological world where we want to participate in, I'm looking into like participating, doing something to the community, and that's like bringing Computer Hub. We allow people who are interested, it doesn't matter if you're a student or not, to participate in our programs. Imagine a computer center where a student's or a person's job is to go there and interact with the computers, like learn something or develop something new. I feel like with this kind of like opportunity, which they don't have at the moment, it will allow the people from the community to participate in like the workforce. We're going to have like a bunch of people who are actually capable of doing so much that they can be employed. Since this is a computer job, it can be done you can do any project from any other place, like let's say United States or Europe or Asia, like anywhere. So this, if in terms of the payment, you have like a lot of money compared to somebody who is working in Kenya. We have like the currency differences, the way it weighs a lot if you have a US dollar than if you have like a Kenyan shillings. Getting paid US dollar in Kenya would mean a lot to the community in terms of development and number of kids who are now getting school fees and all this stuff and getting food. So it's going to change the community just to begin with.
Nobody will be happier than myself to be part of Restore Humanity's leadership. Yeah, I must say right now Restore Humanity is doing good, is doing so well, but I'm pretty sure that in the next decade, because of the changes in the world and a lot of dynamism, we will be in need of different do things a different way or increase in our portfolio what we do. And I'll be glad if I'm in part of the leadership and I'm able to influence some of the decisions that are positive, that are going to help to impact positively on Restore Humanity and on the lives of people that the organization touches. In 10 years, when I'll be in a position to have entrepreneurial ventures and having a great deal of wealth to be able to invest back, I'll want to invest a greater part of these monies on Restore Humanity, to have something like Restore Humanity Foundation, that maybe supports so many children, we can have Restore Humanity Foundation that is to the level of Obama Foundation, to the level of Bill Gates Foundation. It is possible. And this can only happen when my support together with our donors' support is brought together. It is that synergy that will help not only transform Restore Humanity, but the lives of people that it touches.
My goal maybe in 10 years, probably to keep inspiring more and more young people. Restore Humanity inspired me into giving and inspired me to help more. So, giving, supporting, giving internships, giving scholarships, that's also another way to inspire. Invest in kids, give them the power of education, give them the power of resources, which they get to use and also help others. Take, for example, me. Restore Humanity invested in me. They supported me on all my education career until I graduated, and now I got a job. Now, as we talk, my brother, who was also kind of in my same situation, went to high school with the resources I gave back to him. Now he's in a polytechnic with the support that I give to him just because of Restore Humanity. Two of my nephews, one is in a polytechnic, two in Kisumu, and is also studying and building his career and trying to meet his dream because of just the support that Restore Humanity gave to me. Another nephew of mine is in a university in Kenya, and that's the support I'm giving to him for him to get his education together. So you see all this Restore Humanity investing on me, one person, who is now investing in 3 more people, who maybe in the future will also invest in others. And this is how we're going to change the world. So if you have the power to give, to support, to give help to somebody, do it through Restore Humanity.
So my relationship with Restore Humanity in 10 years, as I can imagine for right now, is that I want to be continue being part of Restore Humanity, and the difference that I would like to be part of the team that's helping kids, like doing the same thing that's getting done to me and to other kids. Like I would be part of that, and part of the goal for me to like involve in all these projects that I want to do in Kenya is actually to be able to show the importance of actually helping one another, and those people, the people you help helping one another again, like other people. I would really love that somebody I helped or somebody who saw what we did come up and step up to like do the same or even more. For me, I just don't want to be like, oh, I'm helped and now I don't need help no more. Now I can just live my life. That would be wrong to like the society we live in. Like it's not really, if you can help, it's good that you be part of something that's it's gonna make a difference to somebody else too. So as you guys, like everyone knows why we're doing this is to help us like do fundraising and stuff. And none of the stories the things that I'm saying like basically has nothing to do with it's not like it was created for this. This is just my life, and anybody who knows me out there would still confirm all this stuff. I would also like say that the reason why all this were possible are like not because somebody was like Bezos, had so much money that, and now every kid in Kenya has to like go to school, get shoes or whatever, all this stuff. But it's because of like people who are willing to like contribute towards this, because as I said before, the less here means a lot over there. And so it's something that I'm always thankful for. And it's kind of hard that you don't know who exactly did this. For me, I'm not really sure. I can't say like, oh, you did this, you did this, you did this. I think it's like general people who have helped Restore Humanity in one way or the other. They should like feel like somebody really is aware of what they're doing, and we're really, really thankful. I know other kids at JCO, they might not have the opportunity to be on camera and say thank you, or they might not be able to meet the person and say thank you, but I would really and much like to meet them sometime and even thank them in person. But for now, this is the best I can try and do, just to thank everyone who have done make all this possible, and not only for me but other like 10 plus 20 plus kids back home, helping every day, ensure they live and have food and water and go to school, and maybe one day they will realize their dream.
So I just want to focus for a second on what Juma just said. Talking about all of the people who have been helping Restore Humanity and thanking them. So all of you that have been helping us for years, some of you that are watching tonight were founders of our JCO Children's Home. That thank you is for you, for all of you people that have been helping us. I mean, you guys are incredible. You've had an enormous impact. And so I just want you to take a second and just realize, let's take that in. That thank you was for you. Juma was representing all the rest of the kids at the JCO, and I'm really glad that he said that to you guys. That's pretty incredible. So for all of you that have been supporting us for years and believing in our vision, these are tangible results. Now you're starting to see the fruits of your support. And we really appreciate you believing in us all this time.
What you all just witnessed was the walking, talking, highway constructing, computer programming, entrepreneurial evidence that not only do our programs work, they work exactly as they were designed to.
So when we first started the Children's Home, our immediate goal was just how do we take care of kids? How do you best care for children and give them a loving and stable environment? But over the years, like we said before, we wanted them to want to pay it forward and do things for their community. And we're like seeing now that is actually what happens. When you give kids love and you give them the support, this is who they become. They become the best version of themselves, right? This is why we prioritize quality care over quantity. This is why we made a decision to have a very small number of kids in our home so that we can care for them and give them the love that they need so that they can reach their potential, because they'll be the leaders in their community. They're the ones that change their community. They're the ones that change the world. And some of you have been believing this with us for all of these years, and it's really great for us to be able to show this tonight to you guys. And just to remind you, we can't continue to do all of these things unless you give us support. It is a fundraiser tonight, and we do need your help. So if you got a pledge card, great way to use it. RestoreHumanity.org/donate is a very easy way to donate. Any amount is helpful. Serimbe is going to look a lot different in 10 years because of these kids, and we hope you'll continue this journey with us.
And if you missed any part of our presentation tonight, or if you think that you know someone who you believe can be moved or inspired to join our cause and become part of the Restore Humanity family, a link to this presentation will be found on Restore Humanity's Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Yes, and you can share it tonight. Share, please. And thank you all for coming. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really appreciate it. And a huge shout out to Bordino's and Natural State and Jess Whalen with Jess Whalen Films. All these beautiful videos were done by her. She's incredible. And our mastermind of production, Bo Counts, big thanks to him. He makes it all work behind the scenes so that we look fabulous. We really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.